Hey, this is Mr. A. This video is about order of operations. So we use this word, PEMDAS, to represent the order of operations. It stands for parentheses and other grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication, division, and addition and subtraction. So even though there's 6 letters, there's actually only 4 steps. The first step says we do everything in parentheses or other grouping symbols. After we take care of all the parentheses, we do anything that has an exponent. Then here's where it gets a little bit tricky because multiplication and division are in the same step. So when you're doing your multiplication and division, it doesn't mean multiplication first and then division. It means you do whichever one comes first, going from left to right. So just like you read on the page, you would do the multiplication from left to right, and you would save the addition and subtraction for last. And that's the same thing. It's not addition before subtraction. You do the addition and subtraction in the order they come from left to right. So let's do one example problem. Let's say we got this example problem over here. Might look something like that. This one's got a little bit of everything in there. All right, so you can see we have a grouping symbol known as parentheses. This little guy, when the number's up high like that, that's your exponent. This time the exponent is 2. That means whatever number you get from doing the stuff inside the parentheses, you're going to multiply times itself. All right, then we have addition, we got subtraction. This can mean multiplication. Sometimes they just have a dot to mean multiplication. And the line here means divide. Okay, so when you have a big looking fraction like this, that's another way to have a grouping symbol. Okay, because this fraction bar is grouping these two together and everything in the denominator together. So you got to do everything on top and everything on the bottom before you divide it. The first thing you should do in this one would be to do what's in the parentheses, so 6 minus 4. So what we like to do is we like to rewrite everything that we didn't do. So I'm not doing 8 plus 7 yet. I'm doing what's in the parentheses, the 6 minus 4, which is 2. And I'm just going to rewrite everything else that was up there. All right. Then the next thing I would have to do is the 2 to the second power, which would mean 2 times 2. So I'm going to rewrite everything that I didn't do. 2 times 2 is 4. So since I've been working on the bottom there, I'm going to continue with that because I got to do everything above and below the fraction bar before I can do the division. So I'm going to go ahead with that 4 minus 1, which is 3. Then, like I said, you got to do everything above the fraction bar and below it before you can do the division, because that's what the fraction bar means. So I got to go ahead with this 8 plus 7. All right, so now we just got division and multiplication. Here's our division. The little dot means multiplication. You can see they're in step 3. We did everything in parentheses and grouping symbols. We did everything in exponents. The reason I did the addition and subtraction already was because those are like a grouping symbol. The fraction bar is making them a grouping symbol, so that's part of step 1. So now all left is the division and multiplication. So those are in the same step. So you go from left to right. The division is going to come first on this one, and then the multiplication, because the division is further towards the left. So I got 15 divided by 3. And then last but not least, I got 5 times 5, which is 25.